Alright guys, I would like to clear the air on the various types of stem cells that are available in the market today. For us to achieve proper results in therapy, we must use the correct stem cells. If you look at the market, there are many people who claim that they have plant-based stem cells, animal-based stem cells. Some may even claim that they create stem cells, from other products. But for stem cells to work, we need to use human-grade stem cells. Why is this so? Because it's the same thing as me taking a rabbit's blood and putting it into a human being. What do you think will happen? Surely there will be some reaction because the markers of a rabbit and the markers of a human are completely different. The DNA is completely different. The genetic readings are completely different. So therefore, it is very important to identify the source of the stem cells. That is number one. When we are talking about human stem cells, there are multiple categories in this aspect as well. We're talking about blood stem cells, we're talking about fat stem cells, we're talking about dental pulp stem cells, and we're talking about stem cells from the umbilical cord, which is Wharton's jelly. Now, are all of these stem cells good? In a way, yes, but they each have their own pros and cons. So I'm going to explain to you what are the differences between these type of stem cells. Now, for blood stem cells, for fat stem cells, now these are autologous stem cells, meaning it has to be taken from the donor and it has to be administered back to the same donor. They cannot be administered into another person because of the markers that are contained in the fat and the blood, which has a possibility to cause rejection. So if I take the stem cells from the blood of person A and put it into person B, there is a high possibility person B may develop a reaction, which is not safe. Another thing is, the blood and the fat stem cells are only available in certain amounts, meaning if I'm drawing the blood from you or if I'm taking the fat from you, I can only acquire what is available in your body. If you are a person with additional fat, then maybe we may be able to get more cells. But if you are a person with less fat in the body, it is going to be difficult to acquire that amount of cells which can be used for therapeutic purposes. The same goes for blood. When we draw your blood, we will need significant amounts of blood to get a quantity of cells that can be used for proper therapeutic purposes. We are talking about repairing chronic problems in the body. So if we are only able to acquire a small amount, then therefore we will not achieve what we are looking to get when it comes to therapy. Okay, so when we are talking about dental pulp stem cells and Wharton's jelly stem cells or umbilical stem cells, now these cells are immunoprivileged, meaning they do not have the markers to trigger an immune response when administered to a person from a different donor. Therefore, if I take these mesenchymal stem cells, Wharton's jelly and dental pulp, from person A and administer it to person B, there may not be any allergic response, there may not be any rejection, which makes the cells more safer to be used. And because the cells are being taken from the pulp of the tooth as well as umbilical cord, we are able to harvest a bigger quantity, a higher amount of cells which can be used to achieve therapeutic goals. When it comes to dental pulp cells as well as Wharton jelly cells, there is a difference there as well. Now, dental pulp stem cells has a tendency to change to nerves or neurons, so it is used more for neurological problems. However, Wharton's jelly stem cells, umbilical stem cells, has the capability to change into almost any type of cell in the body. Therefore, it can be used for multiple problems. Now, this is called pluripotency. So the cells has the ability to change to, for instance, cardiac cells, which are heart cells, kidney cells, blood cells, and change into pancreatic cells, which can be used for diabetes. It can change into neurons, which can be used for neurological problems. It can help to regenerate cartilage cells. So it can be used for multiple problems. Therefore, when it comes to the quality and the capability of cells, out of all the cells that we have mentioned, Wharton's jelly or umbilical cord stem cells are currently the most beneficial, I would say, and currently the most diverse. That means it has the most diversification compared to all the other stem cells that are available. Alright, so let's talk about the efficacy of stem cells in comparison. Now, if you are looking at effectiveness of infant cell, that means a cell taken at a very young age, and the efficacy of a cell taken from, say, a 50 years old donor. Now, there's a huge difference there, because your cells will follow the capability of a 50-year-old person, whereas the mesenchymal cells, which are taken from the umbilical cord or the dental cord, will be following the capability of an infant. Now, like I mentioned earlier, age plays a very significant role in the body's capability to defend itself. Now, if it is a child, then of course the efficacy will be much greater. Furthermore, in order to obtain these cells, it has to undergo a tedious screening process, it has to undergo infectious screening process, it has to undergo genetic screening processes to ensure that the cells are safe from causing any harm for the recipient. So this process, as well as the capability of the cells, puts it on top of all the other cells available in the market. And therefore, it is the most sought after, and I would say it is currently the best in the market at this point.